Hi, everyone, and welcome to our weekly webinar of September 18th. So we're so happy to be here with you, Angela and myself. Just make sure to have your notebook, a piece of paper, something to write down everything that we're going to talk about today. We have really good information for you about products, tips, etc. So I just want to open the mic to Angela, who has prepared this amazing presentation for us. So hi, Angela, welcome.
Thank you, Cynthia. Yes, make sure you have paper along today because we're going to be doing like some brainstorming lists and things like that. And it's helpful if you have something like a digital place or a paper place to write some things down. So it's September 18th already. We're already past the halfway mark in this month. So today we're going to be talking about our honey, milk, and rice bath foam. Let us know in the chat if you or someone you know already uses this. It's a must-have at my house. I always have a backup bottle so that we never run out. We're going to talk about some FAQs and did you know kind of tips with that to make sure that you're able to share lots of different uses for that product with your customers. For our business tools, we're going to go over briefly how to use a really easy topic search option on your website. That's a great tool for existing and new consultants to really get going in a simple way. It's a great tool for our customers when they need it as well. For our sales project or our sales tip this week, we're going to do some practice with different types of prospecting. So finding new customers, finding new PCC members, finding new consultants, how to reach out to those people, what kind of people are we looking for in those different roles, etc. And then for tech tips, we're just going to go over some of the reports that can be used for prospecting as well. So, and then we'll wrap up with some other time sensitive reminders. So today we are talking about our spotlight as the honey, milk, and rice herbal bath foam. Again, this is a must-have at my house. I love the aroma. It blends so well with all of our other products. And it's great for lots of different skin types, but especially sensitive skin and dry skin. So we use this for immersion bath. Some of us might use it as our body wash as well. So it has the properties of soap, but also the properties of like a body cream, like a moisturizer. So we're not going to use it as a body cream, but by washing our skin with this, by using it in a bath or by washing our skin with this, it's going to give it that moisturizing properties like you would if you were putting on a body lotion. It protects, it softens, and improves the elasticity of our skin. It provides a comforting effect and long-term moisture, especially for sensitive, delicate, or extremely dry skin. The other day, my 6-year-old was like freaking out. She got out of the shower and everything was itchy. We had been swimming that week, and I think her skin was just dry from chlorine and things like that. She's my eczema kid. She's like Lamelliderm and this stuff and mallow cream. She's my sensitive skin kid. But I had her take another shower. So even though she had already showered, she took another shower and used this as her bath, like her body wash on her little bath sponge, and her skin calmed down and was fine after that. So it's great for comforting, but a lot of times that itchy, irritated skin is from dryness or something lacking in our skincare routine. This is perfect for people who live in cold climates. Again, that's my family to a T as well. Maybe used by the whole family. It's nice and gentle. And it's dermatologically tested under pediatrician supervision for ages 3 and up. So let's see. Oh, sorry, the rest of it didn't come up. Okay, do you see that okay on your end? I believe it should be all showing up okay. My little guide here is kind of showing. Oh, sorry, and this one's 2 and up. Most of our products are 3 and up. This one's 2 and up. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so then with this product, we have honey, milk, and rice. Those are kind of the herbal tradition ingredients of this. That delicate combination of the ingredients softens, moisturizes, protects the skin. It's rich in vitamins A, C, and D, and they condition that outer layer of our skin. They're especially recommended for children and people with sensitive or dry skin. This blend is also high in aloe vera. So the saponin content in aloe vera penetrates the skin, removes dirt from our pores, and is also obviously very gentle and moisturizing. And there's also mineral-rich oats that add that creamy consistency to the bath foam, and it helps keep the skin hydrated and protected. Again, very suitable for sensitive skin and children's skin. A few did you knows for this bath foam. Did you know that if your customers have an aromatherapy bath set up, they're putting maybe some lavender essential oil in it or one of our bath essences, things like that. If they then add regular soap to the mix, regular soap can break down essential oils' unique properties. So make sure that as you're talking about bath products and aromatherapy bath, that you are recommending they use our bath essences with used bath foams, or other, or like Deo Intim and things like that, so that they're not creating an aromatherapy bath and then breaking down the properties of their essential oils. So that's a great selling point for this product as well. So if like a great combination is 2 capfuls, 1 or 2 capfuls of this bath foam and a cap full of one of our bath essences. It makes a really nice, you get the foam, but also all the great aromas, and it blends nicely with everything. Also, if you have customers who have, like this happens with little kids sometimes, like they just get like irritation because they just get irritation on their body. And so sometimes if you take a cap full of this and you can add a couple of drops of lavender and tea tree to that, I would do just lavender probably for more sensitive skin, but you put lavender in with this, mix it up with your bath foam, and then put it in the water. It helps that lavender essential oil stay immersed in the solution. And it's a great way to get it so that it doesn't just float to the top. Yes. So used bath foams have sanitizing benefits. So it's not necessary to use other soaps during your bath. Like this will already get your body clean. And this bath foam does not have any added dyes, but it does have a white appearance. That's just a result of its natural ingredients. And that represents purity and calm in chromotherapy. So when our brain sees that color, it does help calm us down. It even makes you think, it's like your brain already knows your skin's getting moisturized just by looking at it too, right? So this is a really cool product for demonstrations. It smells wonderful. It blends well with other products. And just looking at it and touching its texture, you feel the pampering benefits of that. So make sure that you talk that up with adults and families, with little kids alike. It is such a great product if they haven't tried it yet, especially. Okay, so for our business tools this week, we're going to just talk about some really easy ways to search topics on your personal website and get immediate recommendations and access to resources and shopping, right? From your personal website. This is a tip that you should use for yourself as a consultant, that you should definitely be sharing with new consultants, because we're trying to make the process easy for them. I remember when I was a newer consultant, I had someone ask me about rosacea, and I was like, I don't have rosacea, so I haven't used products for that yet. I was still doing a lot of my product training. So I was able to go onto my personal website, search for the topic or the customer need, like rosacea, and I immediately was brought to our mallow cream, for example. So this is a really cool tool for existing consultants, brand new consultants, and our customers. And I'm actually going to just show you here, and then I'll open up my own website so that you can see it. So when we are on our personal used website, before we even go into the shopping site, this is where we have our little search bar. And notice that in our search bar, it says enter a product or a customer need or a person's need, like rosacea, for example, or an ingredient like honey or whatever you're looking for. You can search lots of different topics, not just the names of our products there. So for example, when I had a customer asking me about rosacea, instead of typing in mallow cream, because that's like, I didn't know that answer yet, I type in rosacea and it takes me right to the product. And if I go here, I can send my customer a specific link to this product. I can go down to the user guide and see how it's supposed to be used. I can see related products that might work well with that. I have a direct product link with this little link icon down here at the bottom. And remember that where it says download file, that is really easy access to the full manual of the product. So I can take a screenshot of this and send it to my customer after she's purchased. I can use it to become an expert for the next time someone asks me about rosacea, etc. So you can also use this for bigger topics like menopause, for example. I go to my search bar and, oh, did it work? Let's try it one more time. Okay, so I go to my search bar, I type in menopause. Here are my top hits for menopause. And obviously there are more than just these two, but it's all, immediately sending me to the Body Fresh Herbal Gel with Sage that was going to help cool us down during hot flashes, things like that. Gel Intim Soy Herbal Moisturizing Gel. So great for moisturizer for intimate areas and lots of other uses that are related to menopause. So this is a really easy way to have someone messaged you, said, hey, I was wondering, do you have anything for this? You come to your personal website, you type in a topic or a need or an ingredient into this search bar. I can do an ingredient example too. Like if I'm looking for honey, because I want to know like what's the big deal with honey, I can click on that and get more information about products that contain this ingredient. This one, sometimes I get a lot of hits on it, and sometimes it's not always tagged on every single thing. So just know that those are lots of options for using that little search bar. It's for more than just searching for information you already know. It is there to help give you recommendations when a new situation arises as well. So like I said, this is great for customers to get familiar with, but mostly I would say tell your new consultants about it because it takes them to these tools really quickly. Okay, so let me continue on with our slideshow. You guys can see it. Everything's good. Just let me know if something's not showing up. Okay, so for our sales tips today, we have a lot of incentives going on for prospecting, building your team, adding new consultants to your group, etc. So we wanted to talk about different types of prospecting because remember, when we're talking about prospecting, that means you're just reaching out to new people about Yoast. So it could be for customers, could be for new PCC members, it could be for new consultants for your team, etc. So I want you to grab a sheet of paper and we're going to make 3 lists, like 3 columns on this sheet of paper. And I would like you to actually write down ideas of people that you have been in contact with that you think would make good possible prospects, right? For these different areas. Your first column, who would be great new customer prospects? Who are people you have reached out to recently that seem like they would be interested in trying Yoast for the first time? We're going to be writing those names down. Who are new PCC or social selling partners or social selling hosts prospects? They have a little bit different criteria sometimes. And who are your top new consultant prospects? Okay. So go ahead, get a sheet of paper ready. Do this with me. I'll get one started as well. I think I have all my writing utensils here. My husband and I are remodeling this space, so my normal office space does not look much like an office, but we can make it work. Okay, so ready? We have these 3 lists going: customer list, new customer list, new PCC or social selling host list, new consultant prospect list. Yes. Now, when we're thinking about new customers, remember, this is us reaching out, meeting new people. And as we're having conversations with them, we are bringing up Yoast, right? So you might have your needs cards at an event or something like that, that you have your needs cards out. People are talking to you about their needs, and then you start that conversation with them there. You might keep samples with you as you're out in the community, or if you're at an event, and you're giving people samples based on the needs that they've been talking to you about, so that they can try out the product then and there or at home. And also events like vendor events, wellness fairs, etc., are a great way for us to get out, get the community, get our kind of get that airtime, I guess, with people where they're like, oh, hey, what's this? Because in my part of the United States, at least, a lot of people don't know Yoast. And so they're always like, oh, what is this? And they smell all my stuff and they come in, they want to know more. So vendor events, wellness fairs, etc. Make sure you're looking for those in your area so that you're meeting new people, right? And again, remember that funnel that Cesar has been talking about too. So, your first contact with these new customers, you just want to kind of grab their attention. You want to start talking about what Yoast is. As you converse with them, you'll notice if they have an interest in what we have to offer with Yoast. As you talk more and ask questions with them, you will get specific preferences and you'll see if those align with what we offer here at Yoast. Then we want them to be able to take action and actually order and start using a Yoast routine. And then they kind of eventually move into our PCC world, right? Like our preferred loyal customers that order often and really take advantage of those benefits. So that would be the second kind of prospect, your middle column. And go ahead, think about these customers. Is there anyone that you have met out in the community recently, that you've shared samples with recently, that you met at an event recently? Maybe they filled out a raffle form with their name and phone number or name and email, and you reach out to them afterwards. Make a list right now. If you're working on your sheet of paper, are there any people you've had the conversations with, but it really hasn't resulted in this action step yet? Go ahead and write them down so that you can talk to those people this month and see if they are ready to take the next step, which would be ordering their first products, right? Now our next step of prospects are our new PCC members and social selling partners or social selling hosts. So this is kind of a category of like our VIP customers, right? These are customers who already love the products. It could also be ex-consultants, by the way. Remember that just because a consultant or a person was a consultant and decided to return to being a customer, they still make great PCC members and social selling partners. These are people who have already bought from you several times. They follow, or maybe they're someone who follows a regular use routine and they need refills. Like if they follow our skincare regimen and approximately every 3 months, they want to refill their cleansing gel or something like that. And usually these are people who are only interested in their own consumption and a discount, right? They're already talking to other people about use and how much they love the products, but they're not really interested in running the business side of it yet, right? So these are people who are like, you know what? I just want to save on my products. I just want to maybe earn some for free with social selling and host perks. I love telling people about the products because I really love them. I use them. So think of some people that are already customers who might be previous consultants that were on your team, etc. Who are the people who fit this description, who haven't joined your PCC yet, or who haven't hosted a social selling event or maybe an in-person spa with you yet? And write those names down in that middle column. Who are some people that you could reach out to this week and get those things rolling? I already have a few ideas because, people's lives go just up and down, and sometimes they're too busy one month, they're too, and it's always worth asking them again if this is a good fit for them. Okay. Go ahead and write down a few names. You'll have time to do more later on your own, obviously, but just get it started so that you're remembering what are the criteria that who are the best people to dedicate that time to this month and have those conversations with. And then finding new consultants. So obviously there's a little bit of difference in what we're looking for in a customer versus what we're looking for in a PCC member or a host versus what we're looking for in a new consultant. But sometimes a lot of those characteristics overlap, right? A new consultant's still going to love the products. They're going to be excited about them. They want a discount, etc. But okay, these are people who love the products, but they probably also want to earn more income. That's usually a why for someone who's going to actually do the consultant experience. But they should have a specific why and some time to dedicate to their business. This is something that I tend to ask people who are like, oh, I don't know if I want to be PCC or consultant. I'm like, consultant discount is great. So is the PCC discount. I just want to make sure that you have a why behind coming in, doing something with your business every day, dedicating some time, putting aside some time for your business every day, etc. And that's kind of a helpful thing for us as like team leaders, etc., to have that conversation and just make sure you know what their why is and if that aligns better with PCC or being a consultant. And you'll probably hear from a lot of people, I would love to be a consultant, but I'm just not a salesperson. Just make sure that you remind them, like, you don't have to be salesy. I think our best consultants are not very salesy. Like they just love the product so much. They're good at connecting with people and they're good at listening to people and their needs. So that's another thing is like, don't feel like your consultant prospects have to be the sales type, is like a sales type person. They just have to connect and listen to people, right? They have to love Yoast and our products and our mission, connect with people and listen to their needs. Yes. Okay. So who do you know in your circle? They could be ex-consultants that might want to come back because now, these criteria fit their life. They might be PCC members who are ready to take the next step because they're already sharing about the products with a lot of other people, etc. So these are kind of your three different criteria, your three different categories of who we're looking for, right? And how to reach them. Now, when we are having these prospecting conversations with people, some of us are kind of afraid to start these conversations. Does anyone ever feel like, oh, I don't even want to start because what if they say no? So we want to give you just a few quick tips. Remember that it's if people are going to say no, like you'll probably get one yes and 20, like one yes to 19 no's or one yes to 20 no's. Like that's just how it goes. You pick your list based on people that you think are the most likely to say yes, but expect no's. That's okay. Go in with that mindset. You're going to hear some no's. It's not the right time for them, or they don't understand the system quite yet. You explain it a little bit more and it evolves into a yes. Sometimes that happens as well. So don't be afraid to start the conversation. You're going to hear no, but you're also going to hear some yeses. Remember to keep the conversation light and easy, right? Because how would you like to be approached for starting a new business opportunity or signing up for a loyalty program for something? Think about it. How would you like to be approached? Would you like someone to show up and just like toss a bunch of information at you and just be like, I'm trying to meet this goal, so I want you to do this. Can you do this? Like, no, that's too much, right? That's too much. So just go into it simple. Keep your questions and your conversation starters kind of short and sweet and build into more information as needed. And make sure that you ask a question and wait for the person to answer. Those questions that you're asking your prospects are going to help you understand their why behind becoming a customer, becoming a PCC member or host, or becoming a consultant. Make sure you know their why ahead of time, because that is going to guide the rest of your prospecting conversation with them, right? Everything you say to them should be somehow related to meeting their why or their need for this thing that they're going to start up. Okay. So when you're having that conversation with them, you're going to have an initial greeting, right? You're going to greet them, and a little small talk is good. We don't just want to dive right in, right? You are also going to then thank them for attending a spa, for taking the time to stop and talk to you in an event, for sharing a recommendation with someone else, sharing a like any thank you for whatever participation they have put forth so far. Acknowledge the situation. So I know that you said, I understand that this is the situation. So showing them like, I was listening the last time we talked, or all these times that we've talked, this is what I understand about the situation right now. We're presenting opportunities to them for becoming a customer, for becoming a PCC member, a host, a consultant, etc. If they're not interested in one option, like becoming a consultant, add alternative options as well. Invite them to have a conversation with more detail later on, and close and give them a final thanks. So I'm going to give you an example that's like kind of a script. However, just big flashing disclaimer, do not just toss this script in, copy paste with someone and expect it to just like work on its own. You have to have a nice, easy, natural conversation with the person you're prospecting with. These are just some things that kind of guide us in what you can say in different steps of this process. And this kind of just gives you an overall, this is like a good way to organize your conversation with the person a little at a time. Yes. So Gabi Montalvan, one of our major consultant, she's a team leader, she's so great at connecting people, has kind of given us some ideas of how she makes these steps work for her, and I've brought them to you here in English. So let us know if you have any questions about them. But again, this is something that we're not just going to copy paste. This is just an example of what these different steps look like, and then you put them into play for the person's why and what you already know about each person that you're talking to. Okay. Ignore the copy paste option on your phones or your computers and have a real conversation with people. So always start off with an initial greeting. Some small talk is in there. Hi. And this whole example is going to be based off of like a previous consultant who used to be a consultant, and now we're going to try to bring them back, right? So hello, Lucy, I hope you're feeling well. How is whoever? I saw your post about something, like what's going, like ask about their life. I just wanted to take a moment to contact you and touch base with you because I really value our relationship, what we've shared together in the past and share, when we did this, or when we share some specific things that show that this person is important in your life. Yes. So initial greeting, connect with them and show them how important they are to you. Thank them for any kind of participation that you've had with them related to Yoast in the past. So first of all, I want to thank you for the time we spent working together at Yoast last spring. It was so fun working with you, and I always appreciate your commitment and your dedication. Bring up some topic, like what are their key talents that they bring to the table? Sometimes people need to hear us say, this is your talent, let's put it to work, right? So thank you for X, Y, and Z. It could just be thank you for taking the time to stop by my booth at the vendor event. I really had a fun time talking to you. I think you have a great personality, and you build up the things that are special about that person and thank them for taking the time to spend with you. Acknowledgement of the situation. Here is where you show that you have been a good listener, that you have listened to what the person has told you so far. This is why when I'm at like a vendor event, for example, I have a notebook with me so that after I've talked with someone and they've written their name on my little raffle and their phone number or whatever, I take a minute, I write down their name because I've already asked them their name in person, and I write all the notes of what we've talked about, because a lot of times we'll talk to 50 people or more in a day at a vendor event. And I want to keep track of that for when I follow up with them later. So keep notes. You don't have to do it in front of them, right? But once they leave, you write it down so that you can remember. So here is where you're going to acknowledge, like, this is what I know so far. This is about your situation, about your why, about your needs, etc. I know that last summer you decided to stop being a consultant because you were feeling like, you're really busy with your schedule with your kids and things like that. And that is completely understandable. But I also understand that life can change, our priorities can evolve. I just wanted to check in and see if, right? So this is, I know that this is why you had left being a consultant before. I was listening to the things that you told me before, acknowledge the situation. Then you present opportunities to them, right? So in this example, I'm going to give you the consultant opportunity. So however, I want to inform you of 2 opportunities that you can still take advantage of. The first is to rejoin as a consultant for our company. Our products continue to be exceptional. We have lots of new ones coming out all the time that you maybe haven't seen yet. And our focus on well-being remains as relevant as ever. And I know that was really important to you, right? Because again, I was listening during our previous conversations. Maybe you kind of emphasize the benefits of becoming a consultant again. By returning as a consultant, remember, you continue to have my support. We have weekly trainings, lots of different materials online to help you out, the opportunity to travel, generate more income for you and your family. In addition, you'd be a part of a committed community that values your success. Like, just make this sound like you, make it appropriate for the conversation you're having with the person, but you build up, like, what are those benefits, and think about what were the benefits that person really took advantage of and really appreciated the most at the time. Yeah. Maybe they say, you know what, being a consultant, I can't meet the sales minimums, or I don't want that pressure. And then this is where we provide an alternative. So, or maybe your alternative is that someone is saying, I would really love to buy used products for the first time. I loved them when I tried them, but I don't have the money for them right now. That's, again, your alternative is, oh, but what if you were to be like my social selling partner and we got you some for free and half price, right? So again, try for your top, go for your alternative. In this case, it would be, you don't want to be a consultant. I've talked to you about it, but we're going to try the PCC alternative. If at this moment you're just not interested in resuming your role as a consultant, I completely respect that. You are listening and you are agreeing. You're not pushing, you're not saying, oh, but you can just leave the word but out of your conversation. And you just try to keep it positive and focused on what they need. So I completely respect that. So I want to talk to you about a different option that I think would be a great fit for you, joining our preferred customer club. As a member of the club, you would still have access to our products with a reduced price of like a 10% discount. Plus, you get these really cool used dollars that you can use the next month on your next purchase. This could be an excellent way for you to keep up with your own family and friends' wellness routines in a really simple way. No sales minimums involved, just, you sign up as a PCC member. Right now it's only $19 instead of $29, right? Like those kinds of things. This is a good conversation to be having as that alternative. And then, let's say they're showing interest, they're responding, they would like to continue this conversation. This is where we invite them to participate in a more detailed conversation where we can answer more of their questions, etc. I would love to talk to you more in detail about these options and answer questions you may have. Your opinion is very important to me. I love your feedback on this. I would like to know what would work best for you. So know that I'm here to support you in the decision you choose to make. Just keep it in mind. what is your purpose in having this conversation? We are a very energy-based company, right? Like we are an energy-based company. If your energy is tense and you're like, I want 3 new recruits this week and it has to be you, like they will sense that energy. If your energy is, I want to help you earn more income for your family. I want to help you meet these needs. I want to help you save on these products because you love them, but you can't afford the full price or something like that. Like make sure that you have your why for having this conversation with them, so that the whole time your energy is helpful and positive and relaxed. Yes. And then you're going to wrap up with your closing and final thanks. Like maybe they want to make a decision at that point, like, yes, I think I'm going to sign up, or no, I think I need to wait a week. And you just set up either they take direct action, or you set up a time. I'm going to check, I can check back in 2 days and we will chat about it then, right? So thank you again, Lucy, for your time, consideration, no matter which option you choose. I hope we continue to maintain our relationship, that you continue to benefit from our products. I'm always here for you, whatever. So this is where you just continue to be supportive and wrap things up, hopefully with some kind of call to action if they are ready to take a step to sign up for being a consultant, for being a PCC member, to placing their first order, and you support them through that process. Okay. Any questions or other tips on that prospecting process that have worked well for you recently? Go ahead and share them in the chat. We love hearing from more people as well. Like I said, Gabby Moldalban is great at these conversations, and she shared some of her tips with us this week. But I would love to hear from even more of you in the chat. What is something that's worked really well for you in talking with a new customer prospect, with a new PCC or hosting prospect, or with a consultant prospect? Okay, so as you share in the chat, I will continue with our, where to go, with our tech tips. So since we're really focusing on prospecting, there are incentives for us as consultants. There are incentives for people signing up for the PC this month, the PCC this month, etc. We want to show you just a few quick virtual office tips that are helpful in adding to that list of possible prospects for customers, PCC hosts, and consultants. So just remember that in your virtual office, I prefer to do these reports on a computer instead of my phone, because I just feel like they're big and wide and it's easier to see things. So go to your virtual office. I recommend on a computer, and use the different reports that we have available to add to your list. So sometimes, like I have a customer, I pulled up my reports the other day, and I have a customer who hasn't bought anything since like last summer, like not this past summer, like the previous summer. And I was like, like I haven't had her on my list. Like I have to get her on one of my lists. I would say she's probably more like a returning customer prospect, but I have to reach out to her because I kind of forgot about her. Oh no, right? So these are really important. This is why I love people ordering directly through my personal website, because these reports keep track of things that my memory and my paper lists cannot sometimes. So remember that when we go to our virtual office, one of your tabs is called Contacts. And that has a drop down that says customers, and that will give you the whole list of anyone who has ever enrolled as your customer on your personal website, right? So anyone who has created an account and set that up, those will be there. So look at them and say, okay, is this someone I want on my first column as a returning customer, my middle column for maybe social selling or PCC, or have they bought a lot this past year and maybe they would make a great consultant and would start wanting to earn the money to pay for their products or earn some extra income for their family, etc. Yeah. Also remember that we have a reports tab. If you go down to product sales history, you can then go and see who has bought certain products. And that is also a really helpful way to get some stats on who has bought what throughout the years, and that kind of helps you start conversations with them about, maybe you've seen they bought a lot of aromatherapy products for stress. Well, maybe that helps guide your conversation with them about having a social selling event related to stress relief or something like that, right? So get your information from these two different reports. I know we've gone through what they look like before, so I'm just showing you the quick version here, but use those to continue to build that list of prospects and reach out to more people. Yes, any questions about those two reports, how to get there, what you need to do on them? Go ahead and let us know in the chat. Okay, so our call to action for this week has two parts. Continue those lists of prospects and chat with them until you have 2 new consultants, or maybe your goal is 2 new PCC members or 2 new customers, but we recommend 2 new consultants because there's extra incentives this month. So continue that list of prospects and reach out to those people. Keep that list where you see it and keep working on those conversations a little bit at a time this next week. Also remember to create 2 reels, one for each of our new launch products, Zen Meditation and Yucasol bath salts, and send those to Cynthia for that extra incentive with the lavender, the travel size lavender cream. Okay, and that email address, in case you need it, is communications@swissust.net. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, everyone who has been able to join us this week for this training. I hope you have some inspiration and a few new things on your to-do list to keep your business booming and growing and changing throughout the rest of September and the rest of 2023. And then those of you who are here with us live, just stick around for some time-sensitive reminders.